Hey guys, what's going on? Tennessee.Frank here. We are going to go over my latest install. And yeah, it's still KDE. I love the KDE desktop environment, and that seems to be my go-to. But as you see by this little emblem over here, we are rocking Debian. And it is Debian 10 Buster to be more precise. And to even dig into it deeper, it is their non-free ISO. Couple 3-4 weeks ago, when I was going to move from a distro I had on here to something else, I had thought about Debian, so I downloaded Debian 10 Buster, but it was the totally open and free one, and I couldn't get my Wi-Fi to working with it. It wouldn't even see my Wi-Fi. So I went ahead, I downloaded the non-free, and that gives me the support that I need to have Wi-Fi work. But we can go ahead and take a look around the system. And you see I got my usual suspects in here. I got Audacity, Synoptic Package Manager, Spectacle, Simple Screen Recorder, which is what I use to record videos like this, Kdenlive, which I like this version of Kdenlive better than on the Arco Linux distro. Arco, being Arch-based, runs newer versions. It was running 6.16. Here, if you see, we're running 6.12. So I have a lot more things I can go to here. They took out the DJ EQ, which I use a lot to bring bass down in my videos and bring up the mids so the audio sounds better. But yeah, I couldn't find DJ EQ. There's a few other things that I couldn't find. So at least here I have those options now. So yeah, I'm liking this version better. It is stable. Part of the reason I moved away from Arco Linux, after the last about third update ago, I started having issues with the desktop, and it would actually tell me that the desktop manager wasn't working. So it was saying file manager error, some such issue that was coming up, and I let it run for another 3-4 updates, and it still never corrected anything. But yeah, you can see here I got that boof icon theme. That's the BUUF for Plasma, and I like it. It's got kind of a caveman look to it, which is pretty cool. They're using Firefox ESM, which is a bit different from your standard Firefox, but I mean it still basically works the same. Of course, here we are on Start Page. That's my my go-to for my search engine, and I did have one little issue. And let me see if I can bring this up. I had an issue. VirtualBox apparently is not in the Debian 10 Buster repos yet. So I went to this website here and just do a Google search on how to install VirtualBox on Debian 10. It will walk you through. You go ahead and do a wget with a couple of these here to add keys. And then you just download the repository, which is here. And then you can go ahead and install VirtualBox 6.0. So it's easy enough fix to get VirtualBox up and running. It really wasn't a hard fix right there. But we can go to the Debian website. Let's go ahead and you type in Debian 10 non-free. Let that go ahead and pull up, and go ahead and kick that in there, and you can see, let's see, is this the one we want? CD including firmware. Let me make this a little bigger. And you can see here, you have Debian 10 non-free. I recommend going to the live. That way you can actually boot into it and have your desktop. If you do the other, you'll have to actually just go right to the installer. Of course, this is 64, and then there's an ISO hybrid. Click on that, and then come down here. And there's several desktops now that they're offering. You can do Cinnamon, you can do GNOME. There's KDE, which is my go-to. They have LXDE, LXQT, Mate. There's Standard, which I'm not really sure what Standard would be, because I think Debian normally ships with GNOME now. XFCE, and maybe Standard will let you do any of these desktops. But you have a variety of desktops. But basically you just go to the ISO. KDE is what I'm running, non-free ISO. Click it, go ahead, download it, and put it over on a DVD or USB key. Boot into it. Since it is live, you will get your desktop environment and be able to have your desktop pull up. Then you can hook into your Wi-Fi and do what you need to do and use the installer. And I mean, it's fairly straightforward, fairly simple. Of course, they do give you quite a bit of wallpaper. I was surprised. I've installed a couple wallpapers. In fact, well, no, actually, I've not done my wallpaper yet. I normally install KDE Paint. But you can see they give you some different Debian-based wallpapers here, which look nice. I mean, here's a big Debian swirl. That looks kind of cool. And like with KDE, with any of the others, it's so simple. You can go ahead and just hit Get New Wallpaper. I'll put in KDE Paint. There's my KDE Paint. Click Install. And now there it is. And I do want to go ahead and scale and crop, apply. See, now there's my old KDE Paint wallpaper like we're used to seeing. Kind of looks like a superhero logo. That's why I like running it. It looks cool. But yeah, you got your standard, your standard menu over here you can pull up that shows your clipboard and everything that you'd normally see. And then I have my certain software I install. But yeah, I'm back over on Debian, this time Debian 10 Buster, and it is the stable version. And it's running good. It's only been a couple days, but I don't expect any issues at all with this. Debian is it's very, very stable. And we can just real quick run through applications. I did install Audacity, and I do install Clementine for Music Player. And it's kind of a minimal install when you install it. You're not going to get a ton of stuff out of the box, which is the way I like it, because there's not a lot of stuff I really use. I did do my HP lip, and you do the HP lip TAC GUI, GUI, and you'll get your stuff for your HP if you're running like I do with the LaserJet. We can pull up HTOP real quick. And it looks to be running a little heavy, a little over a gig. But I am recording video and I have opened a few different windows. So that could easily explain it. And we'll check the kernel. And you see it's not the latest kernel. I mean, I think in like Arch we were at 5.2.9. Here we're still running 419.37. For the Debian, which isn't bad. I mean, it runs good. I have older hardware, so I really don't need the latest, greatest. But you see I got my drop-down terminal here. I love that drop-down terminal. And back to the software that comes with it. They do give you Dragon Player, but of course I install VLC. I like my VLC. I do like to install Gparted. That's real good for if you have a USB key or something that's kind of giving you fits. You can go in there and reconfigure it and set it up, put a file system on it and stuff. You do get the GNU image manipulation program out of the box. They do give you Discover, which is not my favorite package manager. I go ahead and install Synoptic. I just like Synoptic better. Of course, here's our Kdenlive. They give you some KDE apps, not everything, but yeah, not bad. LibreOffice is installed out of the box, so you got that. Here's the VirtualBox. I did get it installed. Simple screen recorder I install. That's real simple. There's our system profiler and benchmark, which is called hard info. If you install, it's sudo apt install hard info, and it gives you a little bit of information on your system. You can see here I'm running a Core i5. It's a Core i5 650 at 3.2 gig. It's a quad core. You can see I'm running Debian GNU Linux 10. And it gives you some basic information here, which I like this. Plus you can do benchmarking with it if you want to do like the CPU blowfish or crypto hash or something, just to see how fast your system's running. But yeah, that's an interesting one to have. But yeah, so far it's a good install, and I really don't expect any issues. I mean, it's Debian. There's transmission. I like doing it for my torrenting client. There's Yakuake, my terminal. I mean, I figure if Debian is good enough for the International Space Station, it's more than good enough for me. Just wanted to do a real quick look at this latest system here. And give you a little tour of what all we got going on here. I guess that's one of the beauties of having ADHD. I get bored with stuff kind of quickly, so I move around a lot, which means you guys get some new content. But I will probably be sticking with Debian for the foreseeable future. I've bounced around here over the last month or so, and nothing has really seemed to hit that sweet spot of stability. I love the KDE desktop. That's always going to be the desktop I run. But I need something stable so I can run my system. And that's where Debian really shines. That's one of its strong points. So I hope you all enjoyed this quick little video. Like I always say, either we stand up for our rights or we can sit by and watch them go away. Y'all have an awesome one. We'll talk to you later. Tennessee Frank out of here.